What are some creepy facts you know? It's against the law for a pharmacist to tell seniors on Part D they are paying 2.5 times the cost for let's say metformin than someone off the street with no insurance. In my hypothetical transaction, the drug costs the pharmacy $2, he charges $4. If grandma comes in her Medicare card she is charged $10 copay. The drug maker then takes $7, leaving $3 instead of $4 as a profit margin to the pharmacy. He is bound by law to say nothing about the scam. The only double hanging of women to be carried out in modern times was the execution of the Finchley baby farmers. Amelia Sock and Annie Walters would adopt unwanted babies for a fee. Then, supposedly, find homes for them. They did not find homes for the babies. Sock and Annie Walters. Many types of gas don't smell naturally, it is added later for safety, so by theory there can happen a mistake. Another fun one: carbon dioxide is very toxic, so to run out of air is not your actual problem, but the toxins you produce is the actual problem if you were buried alive per se. I had an ancestor in 1663, a high-posted bureaucrat who paid a doctor called Reuben Ruby under the pseudonym Oswald to get some toxin to assassinate a relative of the Radziwill princes. Exactly 300 years before the assassination of a Radziwill-in-law, Perez. Kennedy. Really just the fact that we can die or have our lives unimaginably ruined at any moment from a basically endless number of ways, and that eventually within a handful of decades or maybe seconds or any time in between or so it is going to happen. That in pharmaceutical labs, once they are done with the animals with whatever they were testing, the ones that are still alive are put down and thrown in a freezer. When the freezer is full they are dumped in a furnace. Most of us are highly susceptible to suggestion when hypnotized, including attempts to instill false memories. Our brains cannot tell the difference between real and false memories. Imagine the possibilities. Drinking too much water can kill you. Some people who have survived drowning later die because of water intoxication. Solution is simple: give them salt or electrolyte fluids to balance their sodium pH in the body. When a star dies it explodes and releases a gamma burst and it destroys all in its path. If one goes off near Earth it'll lead to extinction and to receive no warning because it happens immediately. I have none. So how about a theory instead? You know how doctors say sleep paralysis is harmless? What if people who die in their sleep were actually killed by their so-called sleep demon? In a strange and semi-creepy coincidence, Robert Lincoln, son of Abraham Lincoln, was saved from falling off a train platform and being run over by Edwin Booth, brother of John Wilkes Booth. Back in the day, poor families would collect their urine so they could sell it to tanners. Hence, P.S. poor. If you were poorer than that, well, you didn't even have a pot to PS in. I was thoroughly disturbed when I read that tornadoes can happen in the middle of the night. It's not that I ever doubted that, but just the thought of a tornado at 3 a.m. terrifies me. There are translucent microscopic spiders that live in the pores of your skin, usually on your face. They come out at night to feed on dead skin and crawl back into your pores. Victorians collected and made art and jewelry from the hair of their loved ones. Some types of ice cream contain castoreum, which is from the anus of beavers. Also, carmine, a red food dye commonly used in food and makeup, is made of cochineal insects. There is a condition where you just think you're dead or don't exist. People who have it sometimes stop eating because they think they're dead. There is a fish that likes to swim up penis holes that needs surgery to remove, and sometimes amputation is the only form of removal. We're currently living through an age of extinction similar to that which killed the dinosaurs, but it's largely our own fault. John Wilkes Booth, the man who killed President Lincoln, was secretly having an affair with Lincoln's son's old lady. True fact: if we could hear the sound that the sun emits, it would be the equivalent of standing next to a speaker at a rock concert. People occasionally going on water slides and never coming out the other end is a real and unexplained phenomenon. If all bacteria in a cheese decided to move in the same direction, the cheese would move quite a distance in a day. Infant flesh is like fish when cooked. White and falls right off the bone. Thank you. Last podcast on the left. An ally of Joan of Arc, Gilles de Rais, was a serial killer who raped and murdered hundreds of children. A sloth's claws aren't actually made of creatine, they're their finger bones protruding from their flesh. Last year in the US alone over 500,000 people were reported missing. About 1 are found. Hundreds of people die every year from being strangled by their bed sheets. You're cute when you're asleep. You're also out of toilet paper and milk. Lobotomy and the guillotine were both used in France through the 1980s. The floating specks you see probably aren't dust but dead skin cells. A female mantis eats her mating partner after having sex with him. You have millions of mites, known as Demodex, living on your face. For 7 minutes after you die, your memories replay like a slideshow. Many people have a parasitic infection and don't even know it. If given access to it, butterflies will happily drink blood. Cadaver dogs can smell bodies through waters, lakes, etc. The current governor of Oklahoma endorses cockfighting. There is a time a ghost is watching you take a bath.